Are you a blue collar founder who's ready to exit your business? Today, I'm going to share with you 3 things that I wish I knew before I exited my first venture back in 2012. So if you have not met, my name is Andy Smith. I am a blue collar founder through and through. I've started multiple businesses in blue collar industries throughout the Southeast. I've exited 3 of those businesses for over $30 million. And I've probably started, founded, acquired a dozen others that either were absolute duds. Some did a little bit, but nothing. And some we just struggled to get off the ground. So it's been a journey. Today, I want to share with you 3 things that I wish I knew when I was exiting my first venture. 1 is around legacy. 2 is around strategically planning that exit. And 3 is about being ready to embrace that next chapter, right? This is a whole new beginning. We're exiting one thing and we're starting another thing. I don't believe in retirement. I think we are meant to be full on our entire lives. And frankly, I think we still got work to do. I think we still got value inside our bodies to give. And I think you do as well. And that's why I want to share with you these things today. So let's talk about the first one, legacy. So I met a wonderful founder and built businesses, exited businesses, and then decided how was he going to leave his legacy on the industry that he was born, raised, bred in, and built businesses in. He had a tribe, a network, a community inside his industry. And he continues day to day to add value to those industries. So how does he do that? Well, here are some of the ways that my good buddy handles these things. 1, he sits on boards where he can stay active and he can give his wisdom, his experience, his knowledge back to those businesses. And I think that's a wonderful thing. He mentors earlier stage founders like me. He mentors people who are coming up, other amazing founders trying to do amazing things. And he shares his wisdom and love and joy back to those founders. And I think that is amazing. And his only ask in that respect is, hey, if you hit it big, buy me a cold beer, right? That's the kind of attitude that this country was built upon and that I love. And he's still able to stay active and giving and doing the right things in the industries that he really came from. The other thing I want to say is about our businesses and our roots. So as blue collar founders, we're rooted heavily in our communities. And there are ways to now give back for future generations. I'm a big believer in kids. I think the youth of this world are what's going to make the next generation great, but they sure could use some wisdom, some guidance, some love, some attention from some of the folks like us who have been down this road before, who have persevered through just a whole bunch of crap and hard stuff. And now can take those lessons and give it back to people who are fresh, new, maybe think a little differently, right? But we can bridge that knowledge back to them. Next thing I want to talk about is strategic planning around your exit. There's many ways to exit a business. I exited my first business to a private equity firm. These were guys who raise money, typically from limited partners, they call them, into a fund. And then that fund will come and invest some of their proceeds in your business to acquire it. Typically, you'll keep some of the equity in your business, and then they'll go get other investors or debt to put on that business as well. And then they will hold it for a period of time, look to grow it, and then look to exit that business. Those are private equity. Venture capital, in my opinion nowadays, venture capital looks a lot like private equity. Old days, venture capital would invest into startups. The ones I'm talking to these days are investing in established businesses, doing real stuff with real product, real revenue. And that starts to me to look like private equity, but venture capital is where the early stage money plays. Then you have angel investors. Angel investors are people who will come and acquire your business or invest into your business beside you. And different angels have different demands. Some want to be a part of it, some don't care. There's a bunch of different ways. I'm seeing new things these days around search funds. And what search funds are doing, founders are coming in and hooking up with investors before the deal. They're looking for businesses to buy, and then they're acquiring a single business from a founder like you probably, and then they're taking and growing that business with other people's money, and then they'll get some equity through the deal once they get that business off the ground. The concept that we're using, another idea, is a holdco. So we come in and acquire really early stage businesses, but we'll start some businesses, but Blacksmith Ventures is our holdco, and those are popping up more and more now where holding companies led by teams will acquire businesses, grow them, and actually not look to exit them, but look to keep them. And so as wealth is transferred to the next generation, there are folks out there buying businesses who are looking to then grow them, keep the brands, keep the legacy, keep the employees, keep the people. I love that piece. I think that's a way to do it, but there's all different kinds. So when you go into looking for an exit strategy, make sure you're looking for the right type of buyer for you. You may not want private equity. Private equity is going to send in the big dogs into your business to help you grow it. You may not want the stress of venture capital. You may not want the stress of dealing with all of those kinds of things, boards and different structures, Harvard MBAers and all this kind of stuff. You might just want somebody who's going to preserve your business for the long term. And so there's different types of people who are doing different things in that respect. So just know that there are options. If people are approaching you to acquire your business, you've got options. In fact, you've got a lot of options out there right now because there's a lot of folks looking to do this. So not looking to pay money, right? Not looking to give crazy amounts, but there are a lot of folks doing this. Finally, and probably most important on my heart is knowing that when you exit that venture, you're starting a next chapter. You're not done. You don't have to work. Work is something that we talk about in our Bible study, where every Tuesday morning I do a Bible study with some dudes, preacher, an accountant, a teacher, and the entrepreneur, me. And we talk about resting on the Sabbath. Well, resting on the Sabbath is around resting from your work. I don't like to work. I like to have fun. I like to do stuff I love. And exiting a business is going to afford you the ability financially. Well, here you go. Let's talk about freedom. Financial freedom. Time freedom, freedom to do your thing, freedom to experiment, freedom to do what makes you happy. That's the thing that when we exit our business, I fell into the trap of going right back into the same thing I knew, going right back into the same grind, going right back into the same suck fest that I knew because that's what I knew. I encourage all people that are exiting businesses to take a pause, take a break. Don't make any big decisions for 6 months. Make sure you've got the proceeds from your exit secured and then just take a breath. You've been doing it for a long time. Take a breath. Reevaluate what you love. What's important to you? What do you want to spend your time doing? And oftentimes I'll talk to especially later stage founders who have grown up with a work mentality. And my dad was that way. My grandfather was that way, where we've got to be grinding early in the morning until late in the afternoon. Okay, well, let's pause. We don't have to be grinding. We can make impact on others by being in our lane. So if we can take some time to pause after that exit, that next chapter, we can figure out how are we going to impact many, right? Instead of just one. We've been working our butts off for so long. Now we have a chance to pause and to reflect. And the trap I fell into is going into my old self too quickly, trying to jump back into the things I knew instead of allowing myself to be open to other new norms, other new tomorrows, other new things. Think back to COVID, right? I remember March 9th or something, about this time 4 years ago, the world just got flipped upside down and we had an opportunity to establish new normals. That's what we can have the opportunity to do as we're exiting our business because we get right back into the old stuff. It just is really, really difficult. A lot to be said for the 3 things that I wish I knew. 1, leave a legacy. You've got it, you've earned it, and there are a lot of people looking to you to change their world for them. A lot of people, if you're not an entrepreneur, it's really hard to create. Entrepreneurs are creators. They take the unknown and make it a reality. They take a vision and turn it into something. It's really hard if you're not an entrepreneur to create something. Go help those others create. And if you give them the vision, oftentimes they'll run with it. And that's an opportunity to create more entrepreneurs, and that's infinite impact that you could give. 2, just know there's lots of options to exit your business. You're not hooked into one thing, one buyer. If you're getting an email from someone wanting to buy your business, you got options. Make sure you know that. And then 3, look at it like a next chapter. Take a little bit of time. That's what I wish I would have done. Take a little bit of time to process and to create a new tomorrow and a new normal for myself and get out of the same old grind that I knew for so many years. Entrepreneurship is hard. We got to allow ourselves to get out of that and recalibrate. And that's a great time to do that. Thank you, friends, for hanging out with me today. I love business building. Part of business building is exiting. And when the time comes for that, it's really difficult. A lot of vultures come out. A lot of people love you when you got money, and a lot of people don't care 1 second for you when you ain't got no money. So just know that too. You find out who your friends are real quick on both sides of those equations. It takes a lot of discernment to be there. So if we've not met, Andy Smith. I'm on social media at Andy Smith Life on all platforms. I put out content like this because I love it. I think it's fun and I love giving back and I love helping others. Comment below if you have questions. DM me if you have questions. Let me know if you like this, and we'll keep doing it.